Here's a brutal reality. Nearly 63% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, one surprise bill away from disaster. If that's you, don't panic, because today I'm going to show you how to change that for good. This isn't some boring financial lecture. I'm about to give you a simple, beginner-friendly system to finally take control of your money, save more, and stop stressing before every payday. So let's dive straight into the first step. The very first thing you need to do is track every single dollar you spend for the next 30 days. All of it. Rent, groceries, gas, streaming, snacks, every penny. Most people think they know where their money goes, but the truth is they have no idea. And this is where the aha moment usually happens. When you track every expense, you start noticing patterns you've never seen before. Maybe you're spending $12 a day on coffee, which doesn't sound like much, until you realize that's over $350 a month. Maybe your cheap lunches out are costing you $250 a month. Maybe the apps and subscriptions you never use are draining another $80. These are the kinds of hidden leaks that sabotage your savings goals without you even realizing it. And here's the thing, it's not about feeling guilty. This isn't a stop buying lattes lecture. It's about awareness. Because once you see exactly where your money is going, you gain power. What gets measured gets managed. Once you see where your money is actually going, you can finally start telling it where to go. Now that you know where the leaks are, the next step is to plug them. And this is where everything changes. Most people treat money like a guest. It comes, it goes, and they just hope it sticks around. But successful people treat money like an employee. Every dollar gets a job. This concept is called zero-based budgeting. And once you understand it, you'll never look at money the same way again. It's simple. Income minus expenses equals zero. That doesn't mean you're broke. It means you've assigned every dollar a purpose. Let's say you bring home $3,000 a month. You might break it down like this: $1,200 for rent or mortgage, $400 for groceries, $200 for utilities, $150 for subscriptions and entertainment, $200 for debt payments, $300 for savings or investments, $300 for fun money, $250 for miscellaneous. Here's why this is powerful. When every dollar has a job, your money stops slipping through the cracks. It's not sitting in your checking account, waiting to be spent on something impulsive. It's already been told what to do. And here's the part most people miss. When you're intentional with your money, you actually feel more freedom, not less. Think about it like this. If you own a business and hire a team but never give anyone a clear role, things fall apart. Money works the same way. Without a plan, it just drifts away. But when you give it a mission, it starts building momentum for you. If you don't control your money, it will control you. Giving every dollar a job means you're the boss, and your money listens. But let's be real for a second. Even the best plans fail if they rely solely on willpower. Willpower is like a phone battery. It drains throughout the day. You might have every intention of saving money, but when life happens, and it always does, that intention often disappears. That's why automation is the ultimate cheat code. Here's what I mean. If you plan to save $200 a month, set up an automatic transfer to savings the day your paycheck hits. Treat your savings like a bill, one that pays you first. Schedule your bills to pay themselves. Automate your investments so they grow without you thinking about them. When you automate, you remove temptation from the equation. You're no longer relying on motivation or discipline. The system does the work for you. And because that money leaves your checking account before you even see it, you're far less likely to spend it. Think of automation as putting your finances on autopilot. Even when life gets hectic, your money keeps moving toward your goals. Now let's address one of the biggest reasons people fall back into the paycheck to paycheck cycle. They don't have a safety net. If one unexpected expense, like a car repair or medical bill, can completely wreck your budget, you're not in control. Your circumstances are. That's why your next goal is to build an emergency fund. Start with $1,000. That's enough to handle most small emergencies: a flat tire, a vet bill, a broken appliance. Once you hit that, aim for 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This isn't just about money, it's about peace of mind. With a cushion in place, you stop making decisions from a place of fear. You stop reacting to emergencies and start handling them. You stop dreading the what-ifs and start focusing on the what's next. And here's something most people don't realize. Financial security isn't about how much you earn. It's about how prepared you are. Even people with modest incomes can feel wealthy when they have a solid emergency fund, because money no longer controls their emotions. Now let's talk about something that no one wants to admit. Your first budget will probably suck, and that's okay. You'll overspend in some categories, you'll forget others, you'll make mistakes, everyone does. Budgets are not meant to be perfect, they're meant to evolve. The goal isn't to get it right the first time, it's to get better every time. At the end of each month, look back at what worked and what didn't. Maybe you budgeted too little for groceries. Maybe you forgot to account for a quarterly bill. Adjust and try again. Over time, these adjustments become second nature, and budgeting becomes less of a task and more of a habit. Let's zoom out for a second, because this part is crucial. Budgeting is less about math and more about mindset. Most people don't fail because they're bad with numbers. They fail because they see budgeting as a punishment. They think it means cutting back on everything they enjoy, but that's not budgeting. Budgeting is about intentionality. A budget isn't a cage, it's a compass. It doesn't restrict you, it guides you. It's like using GPS. Sure, you could drive without it and maybe reach your destination eventually, but with a map, you'll get there faster and with fewer wrong turns. And here's the best part. It gets easier. The first month is clunky. The second month is smoother. By the third month, you feel in control. And by the sixth month, you're wondering how you ever lived without a budget. To really drive this home, let me paint you a picture. Meet Jake. Jake makes $4,000 a month. He doesn't track his spending. He tries to save but usually forgets. By the 20th of every month, his account is running on fumes and one unexpected expense sends him into credit card debt. Sound familiar? Now meet Maria. She also makes $4,000 a month. But Maria knows where every dollar goes. She tracks her spending, automates her bills, and builds her emergency fund. She budgets for fun money so she doesn't feel deprived. And at the end of every month, she has money left over every single time. Same income, different results. The difference isn't luck, it's a plan. Jake reacts to his money, Maria directs hers, and you can too. Let's go one step deeper with a few powerful budgeting hacks to supercharge your progress. First, use separate accounts. One for bills, one for spending, and one for savings. It makes managing your money 10 times easier because you always know what's available for what. Second, always budget for fun. Yes, really. If you try to cut out everything you enjoy, you'll eventually rebel against your budget. Allow yourself guilt-free spending. Just plan for it. Third, use the 24-hour rule. Before making any non-essential purchase, wait 24 hours. That impulse to buy will usually fade, and if it doesn't, you'll know it's something you actually value. Finally, challenge yourself to cut one expense a month. Maybe it's a subscription you never use. Maybe it's switching to a cheaper phone plan. Over time, those small cuts compound into significant savings. These little changes might seem insignificant, but they add up, often to hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year, all without drastically changing your lifestyle. And here's the heart of it all. Budgeting isn't about spreadsheets or restrictions, it's about freedom. It's the difference between stressing about payday and being excited for it. It's the difference between saying, I can't afford that, and I'm choosing not to spend on that. It's the difference between barely surviving and truly thriving. A budget gives you the power to stop reacting to life and start designing it. It lets you plan vacations, pay off debt, save for a home, start a business, whatever your version of freedom looks like. And that's the real reason budgeting matters. It's not about cutting lattes or punishing yourself. It's about building a life where money works for you instead of against you. If you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, don't just watch this video, act on it. Track your spending this month, assign jobs to your dollars, automate what you can, build that first $1,000 emergency fund, and review and adjust along the way. And while you're here, hit that subscribe button. Because every week on Quit the Rat Race, I share practical tips, step-by-step guides, and real strategies to help you make money, manage it smarter, and finally build a life where you call the shots. Not your bills, not your boss, and not your paycheck. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and should not be considered financial advice. Always do your own research before making financial decisions. So let's dive straight into the first step.